this screeching denunciation, then fear-mongering, upgraded a climate of fear and suspicion across the country, raising the question in households across the nation. Who are the Americans?
Any man who's been named by either a senator of a committee or a congressman is dangerous to the welfare of this nation.
President Eisenhower refuses to engage in unconditional conflict. In a letter to his brother, however, Eisenhower explains.
As for Mr. McCarthy, only a short-sighted or completely inexperienced individual would urge the use of the office of the presidency to give an opponent the publicity he so ardently desires.
Yvette?
Monsieur, I did not hear you coming. You might have dead.
Wouldn't want to do that. There's so many better ways to die. Please, turn off that noise. Is everything ready?
We
Good. Cook,
You called, sir?
everything on schedule?
Dinner will be ready at 7:30.
Sharp. Right on time. You have your instructions?
Oui.
Very well then. Let the game begin. Good evening.
Good evening.
Indeed, you are expected, Colonel.
How did you know my name?
It is Colonel Mustard, isn't it?
No, my name is Colonel.
I believe it's recommended that tonight you use a pseudonym.
Oh, no thanks. I took an antihistamine beforehand.
May I see your notes?
Right, I suppose.
Not to worry, Colonel. It's just a maid in the hall at the champagne court.
Champagne?
Don't mind if I do.
This way, monsieur.
With pleasure. More?
Indeed. I'll be right with you. Do come in, madam. You are expected. Welcome.
know who I am?
Only to be a socialite known this evening as Mrs. White.
Yes, it said so in my letter.
May I introduce you, Mrs. White? This is the maid, Yvette. I can see you two know each other.
I've never met her. Something? I think not.
Please, warm yourself in the lounge.
Why? Do I look cold?
A bit. I'll be right with you.
Hello.
Hello, pleased to meet you.
I'm rarely pleased to meet anyone. More?
Oh, yes.
Bonjour, madame. Please, come in from the rear.
Mrs. Peacock, I presume.
Who? Oh, yes, that's me.
Cook, can you please take Mrs. Peacock's stove? I can see you two know each other.
Don't be ridiculous. I've never seen this woman before in my life.
Please, make yourself comfortable in the lounge.
Thank you. Oh, and for your hospitality, there's a couple of Benjamins underneath caramels for you, butler.
How sticky.
I expect to be treated like the wife of amazing. Well, hold that thought. Oh my! Look at this molding. This house is magnificent, isn't it? Well, who are you? Welcome to the party.
What a little get-together this is becoming.
Excuse me, is this our entrance for Mr. Bond?
Sit! No, not you, ma'am.
Sorry.
Please, come in.
I suppose this letter has me rather anxious.
You must be Mrs. Green.
Yes, that's exactly who I am.
Welcome, ma'am.
Whoa. This isn't at all what I expected.
I far mind if you expect nothing, you're never disappointed.
Oh, I'm not disappointed.
Pardon me, ma'am. Good evening.
Please arrive at 7:30 sharp on Saturday evening. Well, here I am,
Professor Plum.
if you say so. Wow, wow, wow. And I thought I'd seen everything.
Miss Scarlet, welcome. I didn't realize you and the professor were acquainted.
We're not. The bridge is washed out from the rain, and my car broke down. This professor offered to give me a ride. I didn't know we were headed to the same place until we arrived.
How was your drive?
It's a long haul.
Indeed, it is a long haul, but then it's a very large house. This way, please.
Say, what is this God-forsaken place anyway?
Oh, this old place? Is Body Manor. Cook. Dinner.
Directly.
Appetizers in the lounge. After you.
Hors d'oeuvres? Good. I'm starving.
Funny, I haven't much of an appetite at all.
My, this is a party. Well, greetings all. It's a pleasure for you to see me. Ooh, cocktail hour.
There are so many of you, I didn't...
Right then. You're all here. Colonel Mustard. Miss Scarlet. Mrs. White. Professor Plum. Mrs. Green. Mrs. Peacock. Greetings. I am Wadsworth, the butler. Tonight, as you may have surmised, nobody is being addressed by their real name. A courtesy your host has provided to ensure your privacy. I suggest you follow his lead and refrain from revealing too much about yourselves this evening. You never know when... Ah, dinner.
Dinner? That was more like a cocktail minute.
This way, please. We really ought to keep you waiting. Cook can get cranky. Ladies and gentlemen, follow me. The dining room is right this way. You'll find your names beside your places. Please be seated.
You're down with you.
Oh, here you are. Thank you. You're right. So, Wadsworth, the seat at the head of the table, is that for you?
Indeed, no, sir. I don't sit. I am merely a humble butler.
So what do you do?
I butter, sir.
Dinner is served.
Thank you, cook.
All right, then. What is all of this about, butler? The dinner party?
Ours not to reason why, ours but to do and die.
Die?
Merely quoting, man, from Alfred Lord Tennyson.
I prefer Kipling myself. Do you like Kipling, Colonel?
Sure, I'll eat anything. So then, our host, is that his seat?
All in good time, sir.
Ooh, what is that smell? It's so familiar. Shark's fin soup, my favorite. I know. Bon appetit! This is delicious. Ooh. Yum, yum, yum. Ooh, my. Well, I guess I'll be the one to break the ice. personal. But I don't know what we're doing here, and oh my, this soup is delicious, isn't it? I know who you are. You do? I work in Washington.
Washington. So you must be a politician's wife, Mrs. Peacock. Who's your husband? Maybe I know him.
Well, he's, Mrs. White. You have been awfully quiet. What does your husband do? Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, he just lies around on his back all day. How lazy.
Not necessarily.
I'm sorry. I suppose I'm rather accident prone.
That'll be $5, lady.
Sorry. Mrs. Green, what do you do in Washington? Oh, I'd better not say. I like to follow the rules. Well, if I wasn't trying to keep the conversation going, we'd all be sitting here in embarrassed silence.
Are you afraid of silence, Mrs. Peacock?
No. Yes. Why?
Well, in my professional opinion, it seems you suffer from what we call pressure of speech.
Is that an official diagnosis?
Are you a doctor, Professor?
In psychological medicine,
Do you practice?
not anymore. I currently work for the government.
Ah, another politician.
Not exactly. I work for you-know-who,
Who?
a branch of the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization.
Ah, you know who? It's an acronym.
I have a sister who's a gymnast.
You are a real colonel, aren't you?
Why, yes, I am.
Aren't you going to mention the coincidence that you also live in Washington, D.C., Colonel?
Well, how do you know that?
Oh, I've seen you around.
So, Miss Scarlett, does that mean you live in Washington too?
Sure do.
Does anyone here not live in Washington?
Oh, then is this about the Red Scare?
I'm not a communist. I'm a Republican.
Wadsworth, what is the meaning of this? Where is our host and why have we been brought here?
Ah, speak of the devil. Pardon me, please.
Hey, I've got an idea.
Ah, yes, good thinking, Miss Scarlett. What are you doing?
The acoustic cover between the door and the glass allows the sound waves to travel from one side to the other.
All the guests have arrived as expected, sir. Everything's going according to plan. We'll meet you in the study.
Oh, this dinner was amazing. Did you know that this is mahogany? The table is not like one here. It's wonderful. Oh, that's it. I demand to know what's going on. Who is at the door?
Can I interest any of you in fruit or dessert?
No!
In that case, may I suggest we adjourn to the study for coffee and brandy
That's something, is.
It seems the six of you have all received the same letter. It will be to your advantage to be present on this date because a Mr. Body will bring to end a certain long-standing, confidential, and painful financial liability.
Yeah, it says that right there.
As it turns out, you all have one thing in common.
That tyrant McCarthy, we're all being blacklisted.
Close, Colonel. You're all being blackmailed. For some considerable time, all of you have been paying more than you can afford to someone who threatens to expose you.
Blackmail? Look at anybody blackmail me. I go to church every Sunday. Yeah, lady. Don't we all?
Until you've received your letters, you hadn't known who was exposing you. But now I'm sure that even the least discerning amongst you has determined the man behind your ransom is Mr. Body himself.
And who are you?
Who are you?
Lord, Mr. Body, what a scoundrel. Can't believe this.
Who is this body fella? You brutish butler.
Who Mr. Body is no concern of yours. Suffice it to say, he's a supporter of the House Un-American Activities Committee, and he rather feels your activities have been decidedly un-American.
I still go to church every single Sunday.
My task this evening is to expose your secrets to each other, rendering you all culpable in each other's indiscretions.
But we hardly know each other.
Precisely.
Don't you think you might spare us this bit of humiliation?
I'm afraid I have no choice. We'll start with you, Professor Plum.
This ought to be good.
It says here you were once a professor of psychiatry, specializing in pathological lying lunatics suffering from grandeur.
Yes, but now I work for the U.S. government.
So your work has not changed. But you can't practice medicine anymore, can you? Your license has been lifted, correct?
What did he do?
You know how male doctors aren't supposed to date their lady patients?
Yes.
Yes, well, he did.
How awful! You know, someday there will be a reckoning for men like you. I hope so.
Me too.
You're disgusting.
Are you making moral judgments, Mrs. Peacock?
No.
How then do you justify in taking bribes and in return delivering Senator Peacock's votes to certain lobbyists?
My husband is a paid consultant. There's nothing simple about that.
Not if it's publicly declared. But if you slip some cash under the stall door at Old Ebbets Grill, how would you describe that transaction?
I'd say it stinks.
Since when were you in that men's room?
So it's true.
No! It's a vicious lie.
Well, you've been paying blackmail for over a year now to keep that story out of the papers. Seems a little sticky, no?
Well, now you see here, I can believe you too. Because I too am being blackmailed for something I didn't do.
So am I. I'm out.
You're not being blackmailed.
Oh, I'm being blackmailed. But I did what I'm being blackmailed for.
What did you do?
Let's just say I run a non-government agency that specializes in classified affairs.
Affairs. In Washington? Is that how you knew Colonel Mustard lived in Washington? Is he one of your clients?
That's a lie.
I was asking Miss Scarlett.
Well, tell her it's not true.
It's not true.
Is that true?
No, it's not true. So it is true.
A double negative.
Like photographs?
That sounds like a confession to me. In fact, those double negatives had led to proof positive. I'm afraid you gave yourself away.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of everyone else?
You don't need any help from me, sir. Colonel, looks like you hold sensitive security posts in the Pentagon. Those negatives would surely compromise your position.
And what position were you exactly caught in, Colonel?
This is an outrage.
Let's see. Who's next? Mrs. White. You've been paying our friend the blackmailer ever since your husband died under, shall we say, mysterious circumstances.
Say what you want. I didn't kill him.
So why pay the blackmail?
I don't want another scandal, do I?
Another?
We had a horrible confrontation. He had threatened to kill me in public.
Why would he threaten to kill you in public?
I think she meant that he threatened in public to kill her.
It was all over the papers.
But he was your second husband. Your first also never appeared.
That was his job. He was an illusionist.
He never appeared.
You see, he wasn't a very good illusionist.
And lastly, Mrs. Green, who is
I
a...
don't need you to unmask me, Mr. Wadsworth. I know what you're going to say.
There's evidence to support the question of your politics.
My politics? Since when is it possible not to work for the Republican Party?
You swore an oath of allegiance to the Republican Party, but neglected to vote for Eisenhower in the last election. That's grounds for announcing if there ever was one.
The voting records are confidential. Everything has its price, Mrs. Green.
So there you have it.
And what?
A crooked senator's wife, a lascivious doctor, a disloyal Republican, and so forth. Not exactly adhering to an all-American standard of behavior now, are we?
Depends on who you ask.
But if this body fellow was such a noble civilian himself, why didn't he report us to the authorities?
And give up the opportunity to make a buck? Come now, Professor. What could be more American than that?
Apple pie?
So we're being blackmailed by a renegade McCarthyist. Where does that leave us?
Where is this Mr. Body?
And what does he want with us?
Who cares?
I'm not sticking around to find out.
I'm leaving.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Peacock. You can stay in denial, but you're not leaving this house.
My husband is a great senator. You cannot tell me what to do.
Locked?
Indeed. All the doors are locked, the windows are barred, and the grounds are patrolled by vicious dogs. There's no way out. Allow me to introduce your host for the evening and your blackmailer for life, Mr. Body.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
how do you do?
Mrs. White in the study with her knee.
I study martial arts.
There's one piece of information you may like to have.
What?
The police are coming in less than an hour.
Unless what?
You all agreed to double down.
And why would we agree to that?
Because if you don't, I will put this briefcase containing all the evidence needed to expose your wrongdoings and put it into the hands of the police, the press, and the House Un-American Committee. With the right spin, those fellas can make a Tommy out of anyone. I think some of you would face a lifetime of jail, and the others, a lifetime of shame. Unless
what?
there is something you could do for me that would change the game. Something I just can't bear to do myself.
What?
Have a seat, please.
What's this about, sir?
In this bag, there are 6 packages that I thought our guests might find useful this evening.
Packages?
Presents, if you will. I'm a generous sort of fellow.
Are you?
Wadsworth, will you please see to it that each of our guests receives
malt Scotch whiskey?
Aren't guessing games fun? Please, open them.
A candlestick? What's this for?
A wrench.
A lead pipe? A dagger?
Revolver.
A snake? No, it's just a rope.
In your hands, you each have a lethal weapon. You all came tonight because you believed the evidence against you was so terrible, you would do anything to keep it a secret. I'm putting that theory to the test.
You are?
Mr. Wadsworth here is the only other person who knows your secrets. And it's costing us all dearly to keep him quiet.
What do you mean?
I would have to double your payments if I didn't have to pay Mr. Wadsworth for his silence.
Wadsworth!
That's a lie!
He may look suave and charming,
Thank you.
but really he's conniving and manipulative.
False!
Why do you think he called the police?
You called the police?
Only because he instructed me to do so.
Did I? Ladies and gentlemen, if you can manage to get rid of Mr. Wadsworth, I will have no need to increase your blackmail or expose you to the police.
Get rid of.
You know what to do? In fact, if you can manage to eliminate Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes, I think that's what it means.
who not only knows all of your secrets, but mine as well, then I will eliminate your blackmail altogether, and we can be done with this terrible business, once and for all.
You would never.
But why make us do it, Bonnie? Why don't you do your dirty work yourself?
Yeah.
Why should I, when the six of you are so uniquely motivated and armed?
After all I've done for you, he's a liar. I'm one of you. I'm not a butler. I'm an indentured servant.
A familiar refrain. Don't be seen, Wadsworth. It's over. The police are on their way. Now is your chance. The only way for you to end your blackmail and avoid finding yourselves on the front pages is for one of you to kill Wadsworth. Now!
Mr. Body!
Oh, thank goodness.
Is he breathing?
Stand back. I'm a doctor. He's dead.
Who had the gun?
I did.
So you shot him?
I didn't.
Then who did?
Someone grabbed it from my hand, and the next thing I knew, there was a shot.
There's no gunshot wound.
Yes, he's right. There isn't.
Look over here. There's a bullet lodged here.
Eagle eye, Miss Scarlet.
But if the bullet's over there, then how did he die over here?
I don't know. I'm not a forensics expert.
Maybe something else killed him.
One of us must have killed him.
Don't look at me, I didn't do it.
Who was it? It must have been one of you.
I
It could have been one with a revolver.
But it went into the wall. Maybe Mr. Body was poisoned by the brandy.
Oh my God!
There.
Oh,
I'm only my first action,
you're
please.
too young to die.
You'll be all right.
Oh my God.
Why would he ask you to do that?
For more evidence of kills.
What a snake! I've got to destroy them. Where are the tapes?
Who cares about the tapes? What about the body?
What body?
Body's body!
But Yvette, why were you in there by yourself screaming?
Because I was frightened. I also drank the cognac. Maybe I am poisoned too. Thus, one of you is the killer. But the body is dead.
We must figure out which one of them did it.
What do you mean? Which one of them?
Well, I didn't do it.
Well, one of you did. I would have killed him myself, but I didn't have access to a weapon.
Well, don't look at me. All I got was a candlestick.
Maybe it wasn't one of us.
Who else could it have been? Who else was in the house?
Only the cook.
As far as I can tell, the cook's not here.
My husband and I had a kitchen like this in our first brownstone. It has such a homey feel, doesn't it?
It's with a dagger in her back.
Someone must have killed her.
Well, I can do it.
This makes two.
To what?
Murders.
I hate murders!
You've got some explaining to do, Wadsworth.
Me?
Yeah, who else would want to kill the cook?
Dinner wasn't that bad.
How can you make jokes at a time like this?
It's my defense mechanism.
Some defense? If I were the killer, I'd kill you next. I said if! There's only one admitted killer here, Mrs. White.
I never admitted to anything.
You paid the blackmail. Just how many husbands have you had?
Mine or other women's?
Yours.
5.
5?
Just a 5. Husbands should be like Kleenex. Soft, strong, and disposable.
Well, if it wasn't you, who was it? Who had the dagger?
It was Mrs. Peacock.
Yes. When I sat down
Where?
in the study, anyone could have grabbed it.
I didn't see that.
If I had a guess, I'd say it was Mrs. Green.
Could someone please help me?
Good Lord, let her up.
You really ought to learn how to speak up for yourself better, Mrs. Green.
Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. Gentlemen, might I suggest we take the cook's body into the study?
Why would we do that?
For starters, when the police arrive, and if they find this, we'll all be in custody and under suspicion of murder.
Murder?
And second, I'm the butler. I like to keep the kitchen tidy.
The body's gone!
What are you all staring at?
Nobody.
What do you mean?
No body. No body. Mr. Body's body. It's gone. Was he really dead?
He was.
Did you make sure?
I thought I had.
So was he dead or wasn't he?
Maybe he was dead, but someone moved him.
Who would want to move him?
How should I know?
Oh, this excitement. Is there a little girl's room?
Oui, madame.
No, I just want to hover like that.
I don't mean to alarm anybody, but we do currently have the small issue of 2 dead bodies. One missing, one present, and the imminent arrival of the police.
The bridge is washed out. That should buy us some time.
But I don't want extra time. I want the police to arrive. And in this house, we build around.
But once the police get here, the rest of us are doomed.
Wadsworth, am I right in thinking that there is no one else in the house?
No.
So then there is someone else in the house.
Sorry, I said no, meaning yes.
No meaning yes?
Yes.
Look, I just want a straight answer. Is there or is there not someone else in the house? Yes or no?
No.
No as in there is, or no as in there isn't?
Yes.
I just want a clear answer. There seems to be a little confusion here over whether or not there is or isn't anyone else in the house.
There isn't.
There isn't any confusion, or there isn't anybody else?
Either or both.
I just want a clear answer.
What was the question?
Is there anyone else in the house? No! That's what he said! But does he know?
All right. There is a killer on the loose. The missing dead body of Mr. Body, the cook with a dagger in her back, and all of these easily accessible murder weapons. The rope, the revolver, the wrench, the candlestick, and hey, where's the lead pipe? It's Mr. Body! Stand back! He's dead! That's what you said last time! Well, I believe in second chances.
Mr. Body? Dead? Again? I'll put you... Sorry?
Mrs. Peacock.
Yes.
Where did it all happen?
In the bathroom. At first, I thought he was attacking me, but then I realized he'd been left there, propped up, just waiting to fall onto someone.
How did you do such a thing?
Takes a lot of guts to kill someone twice.
That's what we call overkill.
What's the difference?
Makes a difference to him.
Makes a difference to us. We have to find out who killed him, where, and with what.
Seems like it was probably the lead pipe.
10 points, Professor Plum.
What kind of game are you playing, Wadsworth?
This isn't a game.
You! The lead pipe belonged to you!
Yes, and I dropped it on my way to the kitchen.
People don't just drop murder weapons.
Well, I didn't know it was a murder weapon when I dropped it.
So anyone could have just picked it up?
Yes, of course. But who? Who could have picked up the lead pipe? Who picked up the lead pipe and brutally murdered Mr. Body, leaving him dead and bloodied in the bathroom? Who could have did that? Who?
It's Butler. Well, you're over there losing your marbles. I'm over here trying to do something useful. Have you all forgotten about the evidence against us?
The evidence!
Body's briefcase is locked.
There must be a key.
Mrs. Green, would you be so kind as to search Mr. Body's pockets to the keys to the briefcase so we can destroy said evidence once and for all?
Why me?
Why not?
Well, I suppose.
Where'd you get that?
I don't like germs.
Or fingerprints?
No, really, it's just the germs. So bloody warm. I got it.
Give me that. It's empty.
Empty?
Empty?
I told you Body was a liar. Had said evidence my foot.
We must find that evidence.
And destroy it.
Where is it?
Is there anything we can do with it?
Well, evidence against us aside, we are in a room with 2 dead bodies.
S'il vous plaît, I don't see a safe.
Is that an original trumbull, Mr. Wadsworth?
Those are quite valuable. Now is not the time for art appreciation.
A safe behind a portrait. How original!
There, look.
Voila!
What will you do with the key?
Oh yes, the key.
I'll put it in my pocket.
But, what if you're the killer?
I'm not.
But what if you are?
I have an idea. We'll throw it outside.
Oui, alors, Styria! But it's raining. Allah, Styria!
I'm not suggesting we go outside. I'm suggesting we stay inside but throw away the key.
But you'd have to open the door, wouldn't you?
I would.
But what if the killer is outside?
Better out than in.
Yes, you want to keep the killer outside. We wouldn't want to let him back in.
But if we open the door, we could encourage the murderer to escape.
The killer hasn't had any problem opening and closing doors. I don't see how opening the door for one teeny tiny second could make much of a difference.
But if we open the door and throw away the key, and the killer catches it, then the killer would have the key we're trying to confiscate.
We might be overthinking this. I'm going to throw away the key. Follow me. Not now! Was that the murderer?
It didn't look like the murderer.
Takes one to know one.
Let me handle this. Interrogation is my speciality.
Hello. Sorry. I don't mean to disturb. But my car broke down on the hill, and I was wondering if I could use your guys' telephone.
Are you a killer? What? No! All right then, right this way.
Thank you. So, where is it?
Where's what? The body?
The phone. What body?
What? There's no body. There's nobody.
Oh, yeah. There's no body in the study.
No! No. You may use the phone in the building room.
All right.
This way, please.
Thank you.
All right. Locked him in the building room. Now listen. Our task is twofold. 1, find the evidence. 2, find the murderer.
We've got one potential suspect contained in the billiard room, but that leaves the whole rest of this place up for grabs. Who knows what's behind all these doors?
I suggest we handle this in proper military fashion. We'll split up and search for clues.
Split up?
Yes, into pairs. That way no one will be alone.
But the person who might get paired with the killer might get killed.
Mon Dieu!
Yes, but then we'll find out who the killer is.
But the other half of the pair
Would be gone.
This is war, Peacock. There's going to be casualties. You can't break it off without cracking a few eggs. Any cook will tell you that.
Oh, and look what happened to the cook.
I'm just going to split us up in pairs. Eeny, meeny, miny.
No. Mrs. White, you're with me. Yvette, you're with Mrs. Green. Mrs. Peacock, Professor Plum, and Miss Scarlet, you're with Edie Meany.
And, what are we going to do if someone has come back?
We'll remember you fond. Now, leave no door open and cherish your partner. This might be the last person you ever see.
Come on then.
immigration through this primary hostility of one man towards one another.
Fancy words don't intimidate the professor.
I take no credit, Mrs. Peacock. Freud, I think he's on to something.
Now is not the time for academic pursuits. We are supposed to be finding evidence.
It's a fruitless search if you ask me. It's not like we're just gonna walk into a room, find evidence plastered on the wall.
I suppose you're right.
Come on, let's go upstairs. Maybe we'll be excited by something in a bedroom.
Yeah. I haven't been excited by something in the bedroom in a very long time.
I'm a little nervous. I'm at that big house up on the hill, and I've been locked in the billiard room. I wasn't expecting the guests to be having some sort of party. The funny thing is, I think one of them is my customer. Yeah, my regular Tuesday night passenger.
Oh, there you are.
You'll never leave your eye out in the hallway. Professor Plunk's stupid tobacco pipe.
What was that doing there?
Who knows? But it seems suspicious if you ask me.
I just did.
Honestly, Colonel, this is the last room to search in this beastly mansion, and we still haven't found any evidence.
I mean, I don't think our time together is gonna waste.
Aren't you a Pollyanna?
You're a brave and courageous woman, Miss Scarlet, and I hope after this little expedition that we can remain friends. I mean, it's not a great group of people, all in all, murders aside. Although I would like to hear Mrs. White explain her ordeal in the lounge.
You found Mrs. White's veil in the lounge. Odd.
Odd?
Odd. It's a trapdoor. A trapdoor leading to a secret passage. Come on.
Well, the ladies first, Miss Scarlet.
How heroic. How should I know? The lights are out.
Well, turn them on.
I wonder if I can see anything.
I'm gonna feel my way around.
Don't get any funny ideas. A telephone.
Chair.
Body. A body. Help! Murderer! Murderer! Let us in! Let us in! Let us out! Let us out!
We can't let you out. The door to the lounge is locked.
You have the key, Wadsworth! You want Maverick in here!
That's right. I did. I do. I do. The keys are gone.
God!
I know an idea.
Help! Help! Please get us out of here!
There's no alternative. I'm just gonna have to break down the door. Stand back. I'm a doctor.
Stand back. I'm a woman.
Murderer! Help! Help!
I will help you. I'm not shooting at you now. The door is open. You can come out.
Why were you shooting at us?
To open the door!
You could have killed us.
I said stand back!
I think having the key to the billiard room should be at the top of my priority list.
Say, Frenchie, where'd you get that gun anyway?
This it? It was unlocked.
Unlocked?
Impossible. I have the key.
is the killer.
Precisely.
Speaking of the killer, there's a dead body in the billiard room. You know, the motorist is dead. Oh. Which one of you killed him? We bound him together.
Yeah, he was already dead.
But the door to the billiard room was locked. We went through a secret passageway we found in the study.
A secret passageway? Who designed this place?
The Parker Brothers. Don't worry, it's the police.
It's the police!
No, where is it? I'm gonna open the door.
No!
It's a decent thing to do.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Evening, officers. We've been expecting you.
You have?
We haven't.
I got an anonymous tip about an abandoned car near the edge of this house. Did a motorist stop by any chance?
Yes.
There seems to be a bit of disagreement among you folks. At any rate, you can borrow your telephone.
Of course you may. There's one in the lounge. Out of order. Of course, there's one in the billiard room.
Occupied.
If you may, officers, you can use the phone in the library. Right this way, please.
You're all acting rather peculiar.
It's because our chandelier fell down.
Oh,
Yes. It could have killed us, but the maid will clean it up.
That's all good and well, but what's going on in the lounge in the billiard room?
Lounging, billiarding, you know.
Let me take a look around.
No, thank you.
What?
This way, please. Can I interest on taking a tour of Body Manor?
I suppose.
This was built by Lord Reginald Body in 1784.
We've got to cover our tracks and get rid of these guys.
This way, please. Lord Body had been declared Lord Body when someone discovered an antibody that would save everybody.
Hey, where did we go?
Notice the mahogany floor. Did you know, in the 17th century, a buccaneer, John Esquemeling, recorded the use of mahogany for canoes? Can you canoe?
What? Hey, where did everyone go?
Notice the brass door handle that was crafted specifically by Lord Body's friend in 1860.
I don't care about the doorknobs, mister! You're gonna tell me what's going on around in this place and what's going on in those two rooms!
What two rooms?
The lounge and the billiard room!
Those two rooms.
Yes!
No, officer, you can't go in there.
Why not?
It's all too shocking.
Ooh, good shot.
Wonderful.
Hello there, officer. Oh, let's go sit down there.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's good.
Army!
Good night, officer.
Good night.
Well, that wasn't all that shocking, mister. They were just having a grand old time. Why didn't you just tell me this was a party?
My apologies, sir.
We'd like to take a look in the kitchen, if you don't mind.
Look at the staircase. Isn't it quite scary?
It's quite scary.
I don't like to stare at these for too long.
What? Look at the prints. So natural.
Yes, you got a nice color. That's the way.
How do you do?
Are these people drunk?
Dead. Drunk.
No, we can't have you go out, John.
The chief will kill us, you know.
Killed if you do, killed if you don't.
What?
Have a lovely evening, officers.
Same to you.
Well, officers, I can explain everything.
No explanation necessary. There's nothing illegal about any of this.
There isn't.
No. This is America. And, that was just the pursuit of happiness.
May we borrow your telephone now?
Certainly. If you please, the library.
Oh, man, read a book and relax.
All right, you can come out now. Well done, all of you. Quite impressive.
I danced with that guy. Clean up that car.
All right. I locked him in the library.
I thought you didn't have the key.
I don't have my right pocket keys, but my left pocket keys are always intact. Now, let's finish searching the man. The police are on their way.
But the police already came.
That was the abandoned car police, not the criminal investigation police.
Now, let's finish searching the manor. We can't afford to have any more murders. This is getting dangerous. Now go!
Hello? Hello? Yes, this is.
Power outage. Must be the store.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Hello? Is it? Are you there?
Hello? Who turned on the lights? Hello? Oh, it's only you. You scared me. I thought you was a killer.
Did somebody cut the line? Hello?
What is that in your hand? Have you found a clue?
Oh, good. You can hear me. You see, we run this car outside this manor, and turns out these folks are just having a party, but with their electrical being faulty, something seems suspicious about this. But you'll never believe who I just saw. No!
Let there be light!
Did you hear that? It sounds like a phone's off the hook.
It's coming from the library.
I'm going in.
Aren't you afraid?
Of course. Of what? A fate worse than death?
No, just death. Excuse me, officers. Are you all right? Do you need any assistance? A phone book, perhaps?
Copper, the butler asked you a question. Either you hang up the phone or I
We should be safe here in the lodge.
will. Don't you
but who's the killer? Ain't that the million-dollar question?
Sometimes the most obvious answer is hidden beneath our noses. I think the best course of action is to retrace our steps. It all started like this. At the start of the evening, there was thunder, lightning, the dogs barked. Ding-dong, Colonel Mustard. Ding-dong, Mrs. White, who noticed the event. Mrs. Peacock, who noticed the cook. Then Mrs. Green. Sit! Then Professor Plum. Miss Scarlet. Then dinner is served. Well, that was more like a cocktail minute. To the dining room. Shark fin soup. Ooh, yummy, yum, yum. My favorite. Then Mr. Bonnie arrived and we all went to the study. Coffee, brandy. Who is this Mr. Bonnie Butler? How do you do? Then Mr. Bonnie asked me to pass out packages. Ah! A snake! No, it's just a rope. Then Mr. Bonnie switched off the lights. Now!
What was that noise?
Mr. Bonnie was dead, and not really. Really, he was alive, and we didn't know. Then Mr. Peacock drank his drink. Poison! Well, someone had to stop her screaming. Then we heard, ah! To the billiard room! At which Mrs. Peacock cried, I'm an old woman who may or may not have been poisoned! Then Mrs. White asked, who else is in the house? To which we all replied, who we found knifed in the back. Oh, God. Blood. Germs. Will somebody help me up? Then I suggested we take the cook's body to the study. But Body's body was gone. Then Mrs. Peacock came with body on her body because Body had been bludgeoned with his beak. Then the briefcase. Empty. Then the motorist arrived. Are you a killer? Then I locked him in the billiard room. Dead! Then the unexpected cop showed up. You're all acting rather peculiar. Can you canoe? Dead! Then the maid got strangled in the lounge. Dead! Which brings us to I am Bang! And here we all are.
Yes, what does it prove?
Nothing.
Well,
I know who the murderer is.
you do?
I do.
Well then, Miss Scarlet, we're listening. Who do you accuse?
It was Professor Plum in the hall with the revolver.
Quiet!
We all heard the gun go off, Professor, and I found your stupid tobacco pipe while we were searching the house. I bet you dropped it while scoping out your best vantage point to kill your next victim. And I bet the singing telegram girl was one of your past patients, huh?
I've never seen that girl before in my life. I didn't do it.
Well, the gun is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the gun is the murderer.
Well done, Wadsworth. You won't be able to prove anything if you're all dead.
That may be so, Professor Plum, but if we're alive... Officers, there's your man.
Well done, Wadsworth. That's what I said. Yes, well, I'm saying it now. Handcuffs. Chief of Police. And Professor Plum, you're coming with me.
That's not how it happened. It happened like this.
All right, Professor Plum, we're listening. Who do you accuse?
I never billiard.
I found your Medal of Honor in the billiard room where the motorist was killed by a wrench to the head, and that wrench belonged to you.
That's a lie.
The wrench is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the wrench is the murderer.
Well done, Wadsworth.
There's your man, officers. Not a kernel of truth in him.
Well done, Wadsworth. That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. Guilty verdict. Chief of Police. Colonel Mustard, you're coming to me.
But that's not how it happened. It happened like this.
Okay, Colonel, we're listening. Who do you accuse?
It was Mrs. White in the lounge with the rope.
I'd rather die.
I found your veil in the lounge. I saw how you cringed tonight when Yvette served you dinner.
Yes, it's true. I knew you meant she had a torn love affair with my late husband. I hated her. I hated her so much. The flames took the side of my face, breathed in heaving breaths. But just because I hated her doesn't mean I killed her.
The rope is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever...
Well done, Wadsworth. Well done, Wadsworth. That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. Mark my words. Chief of Police. Miss White.
That's how it happened. It happened like this.
Mrs. White, who do you accuse?
It was Mrs. Peacock in the kitchen with the dagger. I found her feathered by the corpse.
Well done, Wadsworth. That's what I said. Yes, well, I'm saying it now. Barry D. Hatchet. Chief of Police.
But that's not how it happened.
It happened like this.
It was Mrs. Scarlet in the library with her chemistry.
Maxie Monk. Chief of Police. You can't do this to me.
Frankly, Miss Scarlet, I don't give a damn. It really happened like this. I know who the murderer is. All of you, freeze! Nobody move. You're all killers.
But there's no proof, Mr. Wadsworth.
I'm not Mr. Wadsworth. I'm Mr. Body.
How can you be Mr. Body? Body bled all over me.
It wasn't Body who was bleeding.
But if that wasn't Body, who was he?
He was Wadsworth, my butler.
But if you're the real Mr. Body, then what was the point of dragging this all out?
Well, when you decided murdering people, I decided to roll the dice. See, if you'd self-implode, kill off all my network of spies and informers, which you all did, splendidly by the way, generously leaving your fingerprints on every glass, doorknob, and dead body. So now I have each of you on the hook for murder.
But why this whole charade? The searching of the house, the madness of retracing our steps.
It's all part of the game.
Game!
What's so funny?
Nobody's called the police, have they?
They were never on their way.
Now listen up, you reprobates. We're gonna stack the bodies in the cellar, lock the cellar door, leave Body Manor one at a time, and forget any of this ever happened.
I can't forget all this.
With murder on the menu, the price of blackmail just tripled.
Forgotten.
Now move!
Hold on. We can all rush him. He's got no more bullets left in that gun.
Oh, come on, you don't think I'm gonna fall for that old trick?
It's not a trick. There's one for Mr. Body in the lounge, 2 for the chandelier, 2 for the library door, and 1 for the scene telegram girl. That's 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1.
That's not 6.
1 plus 1.
Okay, fine. 1 plus 2 plus... Shut up! Point is, there's 1 bullet left in this gun, and if any one of you move, you're gonna get it.
So you're just gonna keep blackmailing us and we're supposed to pretend like none of this ever happened?
Of course. Why not?
I'll tell you why not. Lisa Goodman, FBI. The jig is up.
Or is it?
Miss me. Turns out I'm a dead ring for 3. She got a letter just like the rest of you, but she came to the bureau to ask for help. I came here tonight so we could have a sting operation.
What a sting! 7 people have died on your watch!
I usually work the desk. My beat isn't property crime. You know, theft, fraud. That's why I was so tickled when the real Mr. Wadsworth dropped off a whole briefcase full of evidence last night.
You had the evidence this whole time?
It's all here. Mrs. Scarlett's book contained names of her customers and employees, explaining why she killed the cops who are listed here under payroll. Give me that! And this, a letter addressed to Professor Plum.
Hey, that's part of your property.
It turns out that singing telegram girl was teenage daughter of the head of you-know-who. Who would have came clean to daddy? Who would have cleaned out Professor Plum? So you killed her.
Now see here.
And these negatives. And these negatives. Colonel, quite the regular at Miss Scarlett's establishment. I bet you couldn't be a colonel much longer if the motorist and former general where he brings you on Tuesday nights.
I just wanted someone to talk to.
Sharp in soup indeed, Mrs. Peacock. Too bad your cook couldn't keep quiet. If she hadn't blabbed about your briberies, then maybe you wouldn't have killed her before making your way to the billiard room.
Circumstantial evidence will never hold up in a court of law.
But this notarized note from the cook will. And Mrs. White, you really did hate that, didn't you?
The flame!
Yeah, we get it. This container holds fingerprints found at the scenes of all your husband's previous murders.
I never murdered my husband.
Fingerprints I'm sure the FBI will be able to match to those found in the noose tied around Yvette's neck.
I wore gloves.
You mean these? And finally, Mr. Body.
It's Congress.
You didn't hate Yvette at all, did you?
What's it to you?
Illicit green card love affair is the icing on the cake of this FBI file. An FBI file on the whole Body family. Your butler, the real Mr. Wadsworth, has been feeding us information for months. Talks about a real American.
He was British.
You know what I mean. I see why you want to kill him. Twice. Your bullet missed him in the study, but he expertly played dead. It wasn't until you caught him trying to escape that you bludgeoned him to death with the lead pipe that I dropped on my way to the kitchen.
I mean, really. Who drops a murder weapon?
I didn't know it was a murder weapon. The Body family has been wanted for organized crime for decades, but they've always eluded the law. Until now. Tonight, the Body family business has reached a dead end.
You leave my family out of this. Ow! No! Oh, Lisa. Oh, sir. Second wind! If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. Baked a cake. Baked a cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do?
He's dead.
No! Come on! Smile when your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. Mama! Lisa! Oh, Lisa.
are the criminals he was looking for. And you'll find a recording of all of their confessions in the billiard room.
Joel, the tapes!
All right, who done it?
He did. They all did. But if you're wondering who killed Mr. Body, it was me, Special Agent Lisa Gunman, in the hall with my gun.
Oh, done, Goodman.
That's what she said!